A word in season to the weary. Daily meditations from the ministry of Brother Bakht Singh, March 25. By the grace of God, I am what I am. 1 Corinthians 15, chapter 10th verse. God has a great and high purpose in saving us. That is to make us princes and kings in the coming new creation. All those who are redeemed by the precious blood of the Lord Jesus have that privilege. Revelation 5th chapter 9 and 10th verses. For that purpose, the Lord has made His grace available for all our needs, shortcomings, and weaknesses. By coming before His throne of grace, we can receive His grace. Whatever may be our trial, temptation, affliction, or hardship, His grace is sufficient for us. Our need may be like a great mountain, and yet the Lord Jesus Christ Himself invites us to come boldly before His throne of grace with faith. Hebrews 4th chapter 16th verse. That is why we have to learn more and more about God's grace and how to obtain and enjoy it. We begin our Christian life only by His grace and not by any human qualification. God demands everlasting righteousness. There is no comparison between God's righteousness and our righteousness. None of us has the least qualification to receive this great salvation. It is only by God's grace and our faith in the efficacy of the precious blood of the Lord Jesus Christ that we can obtain this salvation. Ephesians 2nd chapter 5 and 8th verse. And show forth God's glory and grace. The Apostle Paul testifies in 1 Corinthians 15 chapter 10th verse. But by the grace of God, I am what I am. That means whatever he did or suffered for the Lord was only by God's grace. As a God servant, Paul went through many afflictions to teach him the full meaning of his grace. The Lord allowed these afflictions, then he testified later on. Therefore, I take pleasure in the infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. Thus we find that all our afflictions are allowed by God to teach us the meaning of His grace and enable us to enjoy it. Even the weakest believer in the whole world can become strong by claiming His grace. We need not feel sad or downcast for our weakness or shortcomings, because we have bold access to the throne of grace. For our sake, the Lord went through every possible temptation and yet was without sin. That is why He is now interceding for us for all our human weaknesses. When I find my strength failing and my temptation too much for me, and my faith becoming weaker and weaker, and doubts fill my heart, I say, Lord Jesus Christ, Thou art my high priest. Kindly intercede on my behalf and lift me up. Now grant me Thy abundant grace. Use me boldness, faith, and strength. Please realize your heavenly calling. However weak you may be, the Lord has made every provision to bring you to His throne. If you have any doubt, claim the intercessory ministry of the high priest. The Lord Jesus Christ believed that He faced the same temptation which you are facing. He knows exactly what you are going through, and His grace is fully sufficient. May the Lord teach us to claim that grace for our heavenly calling.